Hello and a really warm welcome to today's live where I'm going to be talking about why now is the perfect time to generate more money in your business. So here we are. We are in, gosh, what is it? Probably the halfway point to June. And if you're like me, a working parent, you probably have the next 5 weeks before your little darlings are actually on their school holidays. And there's a temptation, isn't there? There's a temptation just to kind of get a bit kind of like carefree and thinking, well, actually, maybe it's time to hang up the business hat right now. Maybe I'll just come back to this in September. But here's why I believe that this is the perfect time to actually generate money in your business. And also I'll share a little bit about my experience of when I have kind of hung up my business hat and what on earth happened to my business at that point. So it is the midway point in June, and it also means that we are in Q3 of this financial year. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, because it's halfway through the year, isn't it? Oh my God, I'm having a crisis in my head. I kind of know all this, but when you say it out loud, sometimes you just catch yourself and you think, is that right? So June is the halfway point of 2019. And why I believe that this is like a crucial time for businesses is the simple fact that you have already been in business for 6 months of the year. You've already had business experience in this year. Now, entrepreneurs have to be really brilliant at adapting to how the market changes. And certainly in this online space, in the last almost a year, I'd say, that I've experienced this, it's more like maybe kind of 8 months, there has definitely been a shift in our online world. There are more and more people, more and more businesses online. There are more and more people who have businesses that are similar to us. And in the past, experts like myself would have come online and said, in order for you to kind of call new people to you, you'd need something between kind of 13 and 25 touches. Touches being like a piece of content, a contact. So it could be an email, a blog post that they've read. It could be a live, it could be a freebie, so if you kind of map that out through a customer experience with you, that between kind of 13 and 25 touches before somebody would kind of make the decision whether to come and work with you. What has significantly changed in the past, let's say 12 months, is that because of the sheer volume of people who are now online, who are now using the social media platforms to actually promote their business, and because there's more of us doing what we do online, and the strategies are getting tighter, they're getting smarter. And this has resulted in the fact that actually nowadays the minimum amount of touches somebody needs from you before they feel that rapport and trust with you is 27. Oh, so that can feel pretty like shocking, can't it? When I discovered this, I was like, really? Is that true? And then I actually went back and had a look at my own numbers, and I was like, do you know what? I can see this trend. The people who are coming and working with me are people who have been in my world for a little while. And that's what I really want for you to think about right now, is we are at the halfway point, the market is changing, and your ability to succeed as an entrepreneur is your ability to adapt to those changes. One of the most significant changes is how more high contact you need to become with your clients. Now, well, with your audience. So the thing is, to think about high touch, that might blow your mind, it might make you feel really like stuck, but actually what you want to be thinking about is content that people can consume really quickly. So I love Instagram stories, and this is a really great example. So Instagram stories, if you're not familiar with it, it's where somebody who's got an Instagram account are also sharing snippets of their day, and it's really fast. 15 seconds. That's how long it stays on your screen, and I love it. If I have got like a spare couple of minutes and I want to just take my brain out, I will sit there and I'll watch people's stories, and I don't even wait for the 15 seconds. I power through. So within probably 3 minutes, I've consumed a lot of information. So this live, my intention isn't to scare you, it isn't to make you feel as if business is impossible, but it's just to identify that this is such a crucial point for you in business, to identify, how things need to be going forward. So you've had 6 months in business, perhaps you're already aware, sorry, I've got really itchy back. Perhaps you're already aware that the marketplace, your marketplace, is shifting and changing. And the great thing about June is the fact that you have got time to adapt to any changes that you need to. And what I love about this space is that you've got the opportunity to review everything that's already gone from January through to June. You can review absolutely everything you have done. So you can look at the content that you've created and really understand what's resonating with your audience right now. You can look back at your statistics, you can Google Analytics, you could look at your insights, any data that you have, and actually start to identify exactly what is resonating with your audience. You need to also be looking at the offers that you've created and the income you've generated from those offers. So what sold really well, what hasn't sold really well. If you are like me and you get into launches, you want to be looking at your launches, what worked, what didn't work, what could have been improved. So you start to do this kind of piece of investigative work where you start to explore what is actually happening in your business, so that you can then build this into the rest of the 6 months. You really don't want to get to December and for you to do this work and just think, oh, well, if I'd only known that, I would have, kind of pivoted in the summer. This is your time to pivot, to change what you're doing if you need to. So anything that you identify that's working brilliantly, woohoo, that's brilliant. That just means you just carry on, or you increase the amount that you're actually doing that. So perhaps you've tried a new social media platform, perhaps you've gone over to Snapchat or LinkedIn and you've been having to play around with that. If you're starting to get some really good results from that, brilliant. You know where to focus your efforts. So it's not just about looking at things that have gone badly, it's looking at everything that's gone well as well, because you want to keep those on board, you want to keep on doing those things. And then, as I said, this is your opportunity to pivot. You maybe worked out a plan in January, maybe you worked that out in the latter months of 2018, and you can look at that plan and identify, right, okay, how am I doing? Is the plan that I've created for the rest of the year, is that still relevant to my audience? And if you get to a point where you think, well, I just don't know, I don't know what's going on with my audience, I'm not quite sure if I've got it right, one of the things that I really recommend that you do, and do it anyhow, is to actually complete some market research with your ideal clients. Actually get into conversations with people. It's simple marketing and it's what everybody does. They survey, they ask questions, they discover what is truly going on for their clients, and that gives you a whole load of information about how you can go forward and serve them. So, okay, let's just recap, because in like 10 minutes, that's quite a lot, isn't it? Number one is to recognise that you're at the halfway point of 2019. And this is a great time to review what's already happened in your business and to identify everything that's working really well, so you can ensure that that is continued and focused on and scaled. And number four is to identify everything that's not working well, so that you can make some decisions, you can pivot, you can change direction, you can do things differently in the rest of 2019. The fifth one is to recognise, certainly it has been the case for me and a number of my clients, so I can see that it's a trend that's happening across the board, is that people are they're behaving differently on social media. I used to be able to go out there. I'd be like, right, I've got a great idea. I'm going to put this offer out there. I'm going to just go out there with an offer. There'd be no warm-up. There'd be no launch. I'd just tell my people what I was doing. And people bought like this. It was so easy. And yes, I still have that experience with my existing clients, with people who've worked with me before. But when you're actually looking at attracting in new people, we are having to work smarter, most definitely. So if that is the case for you, if that is resonating with you, think about the plan for the rest of 2019 and how you can build in everything you have learned about yourself and the marketplace. And if you've still got to a point, this is kind of the sixth and final element, is if you've still got to a point where you are confused, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what my audience wants or needs anymore. Go and do some market research. Go and hang out in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups where people are. Join in the conversations, ask questions, get your clients, get your audience on the phone, survey them. And even if, do it right now, that's brilliant to figure out what you need to bring to the market in for the rest of 2019. But I would say that if you're not already surveying your audience, that is something that I would really recommend that you do right now. So there you go. This is why June is such a crucial period of time for all of us in business. This is appropriate for every single one of us in business. I don't just sit here in my little bubble, actually not taking this action forward. These are the actions I take forward that allows me to keep moving, to keep growing, and that's what's expected of us as entrepreneurs. We're all about creativity. We're all about kind of learning, growing, changing, evolving, adapting to what people want. We're all about bringing something new and fresh to the market. And if you don't know what that is, if you're not reviewing your own work, and if you're not kind of market researching your clients, you are not going to be able to figure that out all on your own, unless you have some crystal ball that you can look in and discover all of that. And I also wanted to kind of raise something with you, is that there are 5 weeks. There are 5 weeks if you've got school-aged children before the school's finished. There are 5 weeks remaining in business if your clients are parents who are likely to disappear in August. And it happens, doesn't it? It absolutely happens. I've got school-aged children. I've got one at secondary and one at primary now. And I've done a number of things in my businesses, and I can tell you absolutely what doesn't work. And if you relate this back to what I've shared earlier in this live stream, where I said that your audience needs high touch from you right now, is in the past I have decided, and it was probably the right decision for me and my family at the time because the children were only little, but I decided to kind of hang up my hat once schools had finished and actually return to business in September. What do you think that was like for me? What do you think my results were like? September was like the new January. And that's not in a good way. It meant that because my visibility had completely dropped, because my activity had completely dropped, my business results completely dropped as well. So I learned really early on that actually hanging up your hat over the summer period is not if you want your business to be flourishing and profitable in the remaining part of 2019, this is something that I kind of really suggest that you don't do. There's lots of things that you can do. There's lots of things that you can put in place so that you can still have time off. I've got a lot of time off with my children. I travel all over the world with them during the school holidays. We go off and have lots of adventures, but it's because I planned for that, and I ensure that I create content in batches. I've got funnels set up. Everything's in place so that I can actually go and be quite light touch in my business. Because actually, not only do I want to spend time with my children, I want to have a break myself. That's why I created my own business. So there's just some things for you to think about, what you can put in place at this time of year to ensure your business continues to grow and flourish. And this kind of nourishment period of time just before the children actually go on the school holidays is the perfect time to start to focus on your business, to take everything that I've just talked about, all of that information that you're going to gather about your business, and actually apply into your business going forward. This is why I've created Reboot Your Profits, because I understand that there is that kind of tendency, you know, the weather's better, the schools are running sports days, there's a bigger demand for you to be outside relaxing and having a nice time. And there is that kind of, you know, desire to lift your foot off the pedal. But actually, I think this is the perfect time to focus on your business, to learn how to become more strategic, how to become more profitable, and to actually start to take that action. And you can be really flipping consistent in your business for the next 5 weeks. And really have in mind to have a plan that takes you over the summer if you are hoping to take some time off and come back and have a profitable business in the future. So Reboot Your Profit is a 4-week program. It is available up until the doors close to this Friday. We start on Monday. The first 7 days, such powerful 7 days, we're going to be working on your money and your mindset. We're going to get you ready for being wide open to more business. During the next 3 weeks after that, it's all about taking action. It's about becoming, like, having a bigger vision. It's about having clarity. It's about being focused. It's about, like, being who you really are and having the confidence to go out there and say, you know, this is what I've got. This is what I have for you, and actually drawing your people to you. And one of the things that I'm really big on is taking action and supporting my clients to take action as well. And it's a big bugbear of mine is to see people investing in their business and maybe programs that have got really brilliant content, but there's very little support and support to actually get them into taking action. It's the action and the growth that you will do as a person that will make the biggest difference to your business. So if you like what I do, if you know that you want to work in your business in a way that it feels like pretty awesome because you've got that clarity that you're taking action, and you want to be generating, you know, money before the school holidays even start, come and join me in Reboot Your Profit 4-week program at a super ridiculous price, which I probably would repeat. However, if this is appealing to you, come work with me. Let's create some magic in your business, because you can. Okay, I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.